Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am not sure what I'm going to be doing because I am seeing a lot of stuff happening in the news, and it's like there's certain things I want to read on. And I wanted to tell you about something that happened yesterday, which I thought was really kind of interesting. I was watching Hogarth's channel yesterday, and it was really great. He does like a live stream with various tarot readers, and they pull cards and they talk astrology. They talk about, predictions and, psychic type stuff. And he also pulls Shakespeare cards, and he has a book with Shakespeare quotations in it, which are really, really great. That is like one of my favorite bits is the Shakespeare. I just thought that was like really fun and stuff. So anyway, so shout out to Hogarth. He's pretty cool, and I wish I could catch his live stream when he does it live. He's in the UK, but he does his live streams at like midnight or it's like 1 o'clock in the morning here, and I'm usually in bed when he's doing the stream, so I can't catch it live. But I sure wish I could because those streams are such fun to watch, and I always get them in the playback, so that's always really fun to do. So I was doing that yesterday, and I decided to pull cards as they were pulling cards, and I got some really interesting results from the stuff that I pulled. Um, on the questions that he asked. And so I said one of them was he was asking about the emails that were released a couple of days ago um, with the people there and with the president and all that. And they pulled cards, and I pulled like the Three of Swords or something, and it was like really wild because I was like, oh, wow, this is like really cool. So that I was pulling this card. So what I thought I was going would do is a lot of people have predicted that this week or this coming week, the third week in November, would be a huge week, that there would be a lot of stuff breaking, a lot of news breaking, and a lot of stuff happening. And that seems to be what's happening. So I want to do a sort of an energy read on what's going on. And I've got my Gilded Tarot. That's the cards I use for like current events and stuff like that. So I thought I would just pull a few cards and see how the third week of November is looking in relation to everything that's happening. What can the guides tell us about the third week of November and what's going on? And I know a lot of people do like weekly reads on what's happening in the week, but I'm thinking that this week is really, there's something really, the energy has shifted to such a degree where I feel a lot more optimistic than I was feeling in the past. So it was like, wow, this is like what's going on. And so I thought I would just do a quick read on that, and then I would do an emotion read. And I've got the other cards here, and I've got all of my stuff here. So we'll see what happens with that. But at this point, I just want to do like a quick read on the third week of November. Is the energy really, kind of gelling in the way that I think it, the way I feel it is? And so I want to ask the guides, um, what is going on currently, current events, what's happening third week November? Because this seems to be the week that's really where everything is really going to come together. I think that this coming week is really going to be what kind of determines what's going to happen. So I'm giving a good shuffle here. Like you can see that I'm actually shuffling the cards, and I have no idea what's on top and what's the bottom or what's anywhere in between. So let's see. I haven't even looked at the bottom card. So guys are saying, show the bottom card. And I get the Ten of Cups, the bottom. The base of everything is Ten of Cups. This is happy families. This is people happy, So it's like, yeah, this is very cool. So Ten of Cups. This is what we're looking at. This is what the energy is going, where the energy is going for the third week in November. That is fantastic. That is what we really want. So the guys are saying, stop, don't shuffle anymore. Leave the Ten of Cups where it is. And um, so we got the Devil card. The Devil's right on the top. And when you look at this and you see this, and then you see this. This is like the counter. This is the counter to this. So you've got a lot of evil energy that's, that's kind of coming to the surface, I think. And so you've got this energy happening, and people are saying, "Yay, it's finally being brought to the forefront." And the irony is that I actually, during Hogarth's live stream, I actually pulled this card for one of the questions as well. So this is the energy. This is what we're kind of swimming around in right now, is this sort of devil energy. But when you look at the base and you see the Ten of Cups, then it's like this could be the possible outcome for everything that's going on. That we have the happy families, we have the happy people, we have the joy and the tens are the conclusion. So when you get something that's like a Ten of Cups or a ten of swords or Ten of Wands, they usually tend to imply that there is like that conclusion, that you've come full circle, and now you've got that conclusion happening. So the devil is crossed by the King of Pentacles, and this is the person right now who claims to be holding all the cards. And the King of Pentacles is, generally speaking, when you look at the King of Pentacles and you see the King of Pentacles, you see a figure who has everything that they need, or that everything, that they're prosperous, that they have all the things that they need. But yet, in this instance, you have the energy being crossed by the guy who may be causing all of this stuff, the one who thinks he has all the cards, but really he may think he has a royal flush, but he's actually going to be royally flushed. And I think that is where we're heading. That is the direction we're going. We saw what happened in the UK last week, where the man who was formerly known as Prince, and not the singer, but the other guy, is now a normal schmo. He may be a rich schmo, but he's a normal schmo. He is not somebody with a title. He's not going to be walking around and people are going to be not going to be bowing to him and saying, "Your Royal Highness." They're going to be saying something else. But it ain't "Your Royal Highness." Not by any stretch of the imagination. This guy is, he's kind of getting ready to fall off a cliff or something. And if the next card is the Fool, I'm really going to laugh. Okay. And the next card, well, no, it's the Hierophant. The Hierophant is the underarching energy of all of this, and this is about the government. The Hierophant generally is about the government, about the wheels of the government turning the way that they will turn. And considering that this is major arcana and this is minor arcana, then we have the things that are happening. I mean, if this had been, I wouldn't say this is the justice that is coming, but this is the kind of the gears. I'm getting an image of like gears turning, and they're turning slowly, but they're turning. And they're turning in the right direction. So this is the idea that I get, is that everything is happening for a reason, and that all of this is about gears turning and about things turning and things coming to an end. So when I look at this card, I think this is like the government, but it's all the clandestine behind the scenes stuff that's going on. And it's not necessarily the evildoers that are doing the behind the scenes stuff. It is the people who are conforming to understanding what's going on and what's happening, and the people who have always been on our side to begin with. And they're now talking to each other. And I think that that's what's going on. I think that that is the underlying energy of all of this, is that people are finally realizing that, that this person does not care about anybody but himself, and he doesn't care how many of his friends fall in order before anything is done. So the Hierophant is that talking. It's that little get together, where people are getting together and they're chatting up a storm about what's going on and saying, this can't go on. We can't go on with this. In the past, we have the Two of Wands. This is the choice. This is making your decision and saying, okay, which path am I going to choose here? Which way am I going to go? And so what they're doing is they're deciding if they're going to go one way or they're going to go the other way. And so the path is really being outlined for them, where they're going to go, what they're going to do, how they're going to move forward. The overarching energy is the Two of Swords. And this is again, this is the two. This is, I see the twos as being involving like choices, making decisions. Where are you going to be when it comes to history? What is your role in history going to be? And this isn't about us individually, people who are watching this video. I'm talking about the fat cats in DC who are being faced with the choice. They're being faced with this choice, and now this is their really determining where are they going to stand in terms of history. How is history going to respond to them? What will history say about them? Because right now you've got history being a really a defining essence of legacy, of what the legacy of these people is going to be. And what's your legacy? What is your legacy? Are you going to fall back into the cult-like behavior, or are you going to move in a different direction and find your path? Um, this is unbelievable. Um, Externally, you have the Two of Cups. Three cards with two in a row. Um, want to talk about your full house here in terms of poker? Here we go. You've got the Two of Wands, you've got the Two of Swords, and now you've got the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is that decision. You know, everybody is looking at the government right now. They're looking at the Congress specifically. And they're saying, and possibly the SCOTUS, and they're saying, what are you going to decide? How are you going to bring people together? Because this card is about bringing people together. It's not about just making a choice, but it's about unifying people together and bringing them together into this space. So the decision, how are you going to decide? Where are you going to fit in terms of history? And who are you going to, and who are you going to unify with? The two, the choice, the decision, the finding out which people are you going to gel with. All of these things are embodied in this choice. Each of these politicians have a choice to make, and they're going to have to make it. Otherwise, they are going to find out where their legacy is, where they're going to fare, how they're going to fare historically. And right now, this is what a lot of them are concerned about. They're concerned about what their legacy is going to be. Because we're not getting any younger, everybody's getting older. Where is the legacy going to be when all of this is done and dusted? What will their legacy be? How will that be? Internally, you have the Ace of Cups. And this is the overflowing of the energy. This is an energy overflow. Right now, we have that energy that is just overflowing. And right now, these people are recognizing that they have also energy. And they may not put it in terms of in that way. They may not say, oh, I have this energy flow or this energy flux or whatever. They're not going to say it in that way. But they're going to say, look at what all the people are thinking. Look at what my constituents are thinking. Look at what they are feeling about this particular issue. That's the overflowing. And they're going to have to determine, when they make their decisions, they're going to have to determine where they're going to go with it, what they're going to do with regards to that decision. How is this going to help their legacy? Will it overflow their legacy with good, positive energy? Or will it crater it with dark and not good energy? The hopes and fears is the Emperor. This is the big fat orange problem sitting in the White House right now. This is what they're afraid of. They're afraid to embrace their legacy because they're afraid of what he's going to do. But now, as his power diminishes, and as these new things come out, as all this information is emerging, then his power is becoming less and less and less. And so, what does he think? Only God only knows. But how much power does he have, and will he be able to impact the choices that these people have to make? So everything about this is about this guy. It's about what he says, thinks, and does. And so he is there, and he is the catalyst, if you will, to everything that's happening. And so once he is his power is diminished, then they are free to make their choices. So they are being freed by the information that's coming out. This is no surprise. These cards are to me, these cards are very, very emphatic about it. This guy is making a choice. These people are making a choice. This guy's power is diminishing. The more people make these choices and the more they decide to go on the positive side of history, then his power over them diminishes. It makes me think of the line from Labyrinth, from the movie from the 1980s, and this shows my age here, but I was a teenager during that time. And if you recall in the movie, at the very the Goblin King is trying to impose his views and his will onto this young girl, and the young girl. You remember when she was wearing that beautiful dress and she's dancing with him and everything is just so gorgeous and it's so amazing and you're like going, "Oh wow, this is like a dream." Well, at the very end, she takes a chair and she throws it against a mirror. And then that dream just out of nowhere ends. That dream is over. The dream is over. And she's falling. And she's dressed in her regular clothes and she's falling. And that is where people are now. That dream has ended. The balloon has I want to say the German word platzt, but it has popped. The dream has popped. The reality is overwhelming, and now the people are falling because they listened to this guy. They listened to him, and they thought that what he was offering them was a dream come true, that it was going to make their lives so much better. But the reality sank in, and then they realized they were falling, just like she did at that point. When she realizes just what her intentions really were, then the dream collapses and she recognizes where she's at and what she's doing. And that's where people are right now. They are recognizing that this guy was a charlatan. He was just an evildoer that was out to screw him over, basically. So in this instance, like the girl falling from the coming out of that dream state, people are coming out of the dream state about him, and they're realizing and they're recognizing they have a choice. And that's why he's losing his power, because at the end of the movie, remember, she says, "You have no power over me." Well, this is the people looking at this guy and saying, "You have no power over me. You cannot dictate to me what my life is, and you cannot try and tell me that the sky is green when I can look outside and I can see that it's not." That is where we're at right now. And that's where everything is coming to a head right now. Final outcome is the Six of Pentacles. This is the people saying to him, "Where's my money? Where is my SNAP benefits? Where is my health care? Where is my stuff?" You see this guy, he's working away, and these people are all reaching their hand out to him. Where is it? Where is it? What have you done? The people are not impressed. And then I get Three of Swords. Heartbreak, disappointment, betrayal. Is that the people? They have heartbroken. I mean, they've been betrayed. They've been heartbroken and betrayed by this person, which is why they're asking, where is mine? And don't tell me that it's some poor brown-skinned individual that took it away from me, because I'm not stupid and I know that it's not. That's just racist BS. But this is what they are now feeling. This is what people are now kind of contending with. They are dealing with the heartbreak, they're dealing with the sadness, and they're dealing with the betrayal. And this leaves them in suspension, but they know that when they turn away from this, that they can come out on top. That they can come out in a new frame of mind, in a new frame of reference, and they can recognize where they made mistakes and what they have to do to get beyond the mistakes. And then we have the Star card. And this is the shining light. This is like, when all of this is done, the clouds will roll away and we will see the stars again. We will see the light. And there is a light at the end of this tunnel. We will see it and it will come. That's what I'm getting. So that is the what the read that I get on that. Okay, and now I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna give these a good shuffle here so that they get all the energy a little bit changed out. Okay. But I think that was really good. So that is for the third week of November. That's what I got for the third week of November. And I think it's like this waking up and this coming to a to a realization that yes, we have the potential to make life better. We have the potential to make things better. And yeah. So now I'm going to read on, and the guides just gave me a word. They said, read on hope. Hope. Hope is the word that I'm going to do a quick read on. And, depending on how much time I have here, because I've got stuff I have to do today. So, but I'm gonna read on hope, and I'm gonna use cat tarot, because there's nothing more hopeful than seeing kitty cats, right? So, I'm just a cat person. So I got the, oh, and here's the box. This is the cat tarot, which is so cute. Look at that. He's got this card in his mouth here. Okay. So here's the cat tarot. And let's see, reading on hope. Hope is sometimes a very fragile thing, but it's also a very beautiful thing. And hope is that belief and that notion that everything is going to get better, that things will get better. We are sitting at the precipice of things getting better. And I can't believe I said that word without stumbling over it. But anyway, but this is where we are. We are at that brink that our faith, that our hope, and in some instances our desperation has brought us to this point where we are saying we are hopeful. We can be hopeful about the life and about oh, and they're saying show me the card and the world. So hope is that, and they're saying okay. They once I show the bottom, they say that I should stop. So that's what I'm doing. Okay. So I'm reading on hope, and I'm reading on this idea of hope being here. So here we've got the Knight of Pentacles, and I need to pull out my cheat sheet because I'm trying to remember the cards, but sometimes it's very difficult to remember. But look at, but what I'm going to do, no, I'm not going to look at the cheat sheet. I'm just going to say, look at the picture. Look at the image. The image tells a story here. The image is the cat sitting at the table. And the cat's hoping for a little handout. He's hoping that somebody's going to give him a little treat because he's been good. He's been a good kitty. and he hopes that somebody's going to give him something because he's been good. He's done the right thing. He's waiting for karma to come to him and say, okay, I'm going to give you a treat because you have been a good kitty. You've been good. And so you have the bowl with the treats in it, and you have him sitting there going, I'm waiting patiently. Please give me something to eat. And that's hope. That is the hope that the human in this picture is going to give the kitty something to eat because he is hopeful that that is what will come about. And it's crossed by the Three of Cups. Oh, this is so cute. Look at all the water on the floor. Um, will he be a neat eater, or will he just stick his nose right into the pan, right into the plate of food? Will he do that? Well, he's got his friends here and they're enjoying, so this is like yeah, in relation to hope, this is just one of the outcomes that could come out of it. You could end up with a little bit of water on the floor. If you're drinking water and you want to and you hear somebody say something funny, what happens? You end up with a little bit of water. You might end up on your computer, you might end up on the floor, you might end up with it, you know, coming out of your nose. I mean, it could happen. Hope is about accepting whatever consequences there are to whatever you do. Hope is hoping or believing that a certain outcome is going to happen if you live a good life, if you treat people kindly. And that hope is that even though the water's on the floor, we'll still be able to drink the water. We'll still be able to be sustained by it. The underlying energy is the Wheel of Fortune. This is turning. This is turn, turn, turn. This is what the world is. It's about making choices and accepting accepting the outcome of it. But this is like when the wheel is turning. And so what's happening is you're coming into this notion that, okay, I've hoped for this for so long, and I hope that it will get better, and I hope that things will get better. I hope that I'll get my food stamps. I hope I'll get my health care. I hope I get all of these things. And sometimes the things that you hope for are not in your hands, but they're in the hands of someone else. And so what you have to do is you have to put your energy, your thought energy, into the other person or into the other group, like Congress or whatever, and say, I hope that they will respond in such a way that will be beneficial not only to me, but to everyone else around me. In the immediate past, you have the Nine of Swords. This is the sleepless nights. This is I mean, look at what this cat's doing. His claws are out, and he's just like, it's like the fingernails on the blackboard idea, where you have that, and you're doing that, and against the blackboard, and it's making this screechy sound. The immediate thought that I had was Sister Act 2, where she comes into the classroom, and all the kids are like doing the thing, and they're like dancing around and singing and rapping and all this. And then she takes her fingernails, and you see she's got really long fingernails, and she goes along the blackboard, and the kids just immediately and they cringe. And that is what I'm seeing in the immediate past. I'm seeing that people are really not in a good mindset. They're not. Things are being taken away from them. Their freedoms are being sacrificed. All of these things are happening. They're worried. They're scared. They've lost their hope. And then suddenly you have an election, bam, and then everybody's hope just rises. And that's immediate past. This is very good. That this worry and this fear is in the past. So keep in mind that when you have those sleepless nights and when you had all that worry is opposite of hope. Some guys just told me worry is opposite of hope. So when you worry, you are decreasing the value of the hope that you have, because worry does not help you. Worry is a negative affirmation that manifests the idea that all the bad things are going to happen to you. And this is in past. This is in the past. So this is the worry and the fear. And now you have the hope, and you can decide with that, how that's going to play out. The overarching energy is the Six of Wands. This is victory. This is the victory. Look at that cat. He's having some fun. This is your victory, the victory card. So in this imagery, you have a victory. You've gone through all of the worry, you've gone through all the fear. You went out and voted, if you're in New York or in Jersey, like I did, yeah. Or in California for Prop 50, or for the Virginia governor, or even in Mississippi for the school boards. You voted, you did your bit, you did your thing. And now this is the overarching energy from having done that, because now you're seeing the celebration, you're seeing the happiness, the joy that people have because they did the thing that they did. In the immediate future, you're going to love it, justice. In the immediate future, you have the Justice card. This is what you have hoped for a year. You have hoped that justice would prevail, that justice would come, and that justice would be maybe not tied up in a nice, neat little package, but that justice will come with small steps, incremental steps that will bring you to a new tomorrow, to a new day, to a new beginning. Externally, you have the Seven of Wands. And this is, from the sevens, I get chaos. And what you're seeing is all of these things happening around you. And you're saying, I hope that this will resolve itself, that I hope that this chaos will come together, that they will be able to find a little bit of hope or optimism in what's happening. But you have these mice falling, and the cat's just sitting there. But remember, cats like to knock things over. Cats are chaos creators. They like to do this. And your hope is what keeps you aligned or balanced with everything that's going on around you. So when you hope that things will get better, when you hope that things will happen in the highest good, and then you see all this chaos going on around you, you can either focus on that chaos and say, oh, this isn't what I hoped for. Or you can say, okay, I can look ahead and see maybe somehow this chaos will come together and recreate something that is sustainable. And I think that that's what this is about. I think that this is the chaos, but it's not necessarily chaos in our eyes, because keep in mind, he's just knocking stuff over. He's creating chaos. So people are creating chaos, which means that you can also hope that they will create sustainability. They will create something that is valid, and that people can work towards. So that's what I get there. Internally, you have, again, the King of Pentacles comes up. And the King of Pentacles in this instance, because we're reading on hope and we're reading on our hope, the King of Pentacles is that I want to say epiphany, but that's not the word I want to use. The epitome of the person or the one who has reached their goal. He is trying to get those things out of that bottle, but he has the prosperity. He has come to this point where he has that prosperity. So the King of Pentacles is what we all hope for. We hope to have the prosperity. We hope to have the sustainability. We hope to have the health care, the assurances that everything will be okay. We have that hope. That is internalized hope, and that is what we feel, or what we are, that is what we aspire to have. Is that prosperity, having all of those things that we need. Hopes and fears, the Two of Cups, unity, coming together. Look at these two. They're enjoying a meal together. That is what we all hope for. We hope to unite with each other, to come together, to create a world that is better for everybody. This is such an amazing card in this particular place. This is our hope. This is what we are hoping for. And remember in the other read, all the cards that came up with twos. I got twos. Twos of choice, twos of legacy, twos of unity, of coming together. This is what we are internal. This is our hope. This is our hope in essence, that we are together, that we are united with one another. Final outcome, we got the Three of Swords. But I don't see it in this sense. I don't see the Three of Swords in the same instance as I did in the other read. What I see is our hope that those who have done the ill to the world will face their karma. That is the hope that we all have. And I know that it seems a little bit strange to say that with regards to the Three of Swords, but in this instance, the Three of Swords is not about us being heartbroken and sad and just dejected. It is not about that. It is about the hope that we have that the people who have created this travesty will face the karma that is coming their direction. That's what the guides are telling me, that this is the hope that we have, that the people who have created all this chaos, that have created all of these heartbreak, that have created all of these things, that these people will finally face their justice. They will finally face what they have coming. At the base of the deck, I showed you already the World. This is endings and beginnings. New beginning. We're at a state now where we are overcome. The person who has created all this problem and all these things will face their justice, and the world will begin anew. Then we have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups, could that be a female leader? Could that be Kamala Harris? Could that be someone else? Could that be us, the feminine energy taking rise in our own experience and creating a new tomorrow? Is that the feminine energy that's saying we no longer accept, embrace, or want a patriarchal system? We will no longer embrace this idea that we are beneath men, that we are no longer expected to be servants to a patriarchal system. Is that what this is about? I think that's what this may be about. It may not be about Kamala Harris. It may be more or less about us. Most of the people who watch this channel are probably women, or they're men who support women. But this is the feminine energy. We all have feminine energy in us. We all have masculine energy, and we all have feminine energy. And this is the feminine energy in us that's saying, we don't want this anymore. And then we have the Ten of Cups. Again, the Ten of Cups. Look at that. Satisfaction, happy families, people coming together. This is the epitome of what we are hopeful for. So that's what I've got there, and yeah, that's really good. Although I'm really surprised that some of the cards repeated. from the other read with the other deck, but that's what I've got, and that is what the guides wanted me to read on today. Is hope, the idea of hope. And it's really funny because hope is hope is the thing that keeps all of us grounded. We hope for a better tomorrow. We hope for a better day. We hope for a better future. That is what keeps us grounded in the moment. So that's what I've got for you today. Sorry it's taken me a little bit of time to come back and do a video. I have been so busy. I have so much coming up, and I have so much going on. Next week we're going on vacation. We're going to be in Fuerteventura, and I'll be probably doing videos, but I'll probably be doing them through my mobile again. I'm probably not going to take the camera here, or if I do, then I'll just put it in the computer bag and take it with me. But it's not that heavy, so I could do that. But we are going to go on vacation. We're going to be away for a week. I will be spending my 55th birthday in the sun for a change, because November birthdays are really crappy when it comes to the weather. I haven't done anything for on my birthday for like 30 years, as far as going somewhere and just enjoying. So it's been almost 30 years since I've done anything. So this time I'm going to do it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have some fun. And then I have concerts. Concerts, and then we leave for Berlin, and we're going to spend Christmas in Berlin, so that's going to be really fun. And I mean, it's just so much going on. So if I get a video up, I get a video up. If I don't, then please forgive me. But it is what it is. It's life. We have so much going on. I have to head out in a few minutes. I have to get lunch ready, and then I have to go and do some ham radio stuff for the young ladies group. So I'll be doing that this afternoon. So I'll be on the frequencies, working on over the computer. So I'll be doing that. So I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and hope to be back again soon with another word, another reading, and a little bit more practice connecting with my guides, because a lot of what I said today was through them. So thank you to my guides, and I hope you have a great day. And as always, namaste.